ask a question. Just tell us, how do you feel about being back at Wimbledon to start?
It feels great to be back at Wimbledon with full fans, no bubble, back how I remember it, and I'm super excited to kick things off here.
Who would like to ask the first question? Anybody? This is going to be a short one.
Yeah, this is going to be a short one.
Bird Bracket magazine. I'm just curious how you're feeling on grass. Obviously, Berlin, you're on the fence about playing or not, but just how you feel with your level of prep on the surface.
Oh yeah, I'm super happy with how my prep has gone. The transition went a lot smoother than I thought it would have been, just because I never went that far in the clay season before and then played the grass so soon. And yeah, I've been practicing on the courts here, and they obviously feel great.
Hi, Coco. Nick McCarville with Wimbledon Uncovered. Now that you're a 3 weeks removed from your French Open run and the experience that you had there, both in singles and doubles, how do you reflect on it? And do you feel like it, even though it wasn't the ending that you wanted, what are the positives that you're trying to take from that experience?
Yeah, definitely a lot of positives to take from it, that I can play 2 weeks of high competitive tennis in two events, which I would have never thought I would have made the final of both events. And, I learned a lot from that final, and I'm going to take what I learned into here. Hopefully I go far. But it was definitely the experience of a lifetime, and hopefully I can recreate it.
Hi, Coco. Hello. Howard Fendrich with the Associated Press. You're someone who, or some players play their entire career, never get a chance to play on center court. You're someone who at a very young age, you were out there. Wondering if you can remember the first time you went to center court, what were your impressions of it, and does it strike you as being different from other big courts and other tournaments you've played?
Oh yeah, so far from the court perspective, for me it felt the same as court one, but the walk to the court is definitely the most nerve-wracking, because you see the members enclosure, and it's a very beautiful area, and then they have, I don't know if they're guards or whatever, and they're standing in front of center court looking straight, and I didn't expect that the first time when I came in, so I just remember being wow, you kind of want to take a big picture of it, but obviously you can't, but yeah, that's because the other slams are, it's more of an urban type of area, whereas here it's definitely a lot more historical, and the culture, you can really feel it. So that's the biggest thing that I remember of center court, and it's still the walk there is always nerve-wracking for me, at least.
Hey Coco, Megan Flood with ESPN. What are your feelings about Serena making her return a year after here at Wimbledon?
I'm glad that she's back. Obviously, she's someone that I look up to, and it's quite incredible, really, that she's still playing at the highest level. And I remember watching that match a year ago where she had to finish short, and I thought maybe that would have been the last time we saw her play at Wimbledon, just from outside perspective. And as a player, we all know, she's at the end of her career, and you just don't know how many more times we're going to see her. But I think whenever she's in a tournament, I think she's always a contender to win, even if she hadn't played for a year. And yeah, I'm excited to see her play.
Hi Coco, Molly McCowie from the Daily Telegraph. I wondered, you said there's no bubble here this year. I wondered how it feels coming back now after kind of the success you had in Paris. Does it feel any different to you? Does it feel are you a different player? Yeah, tell us your thoughts.
Yeah, I definitely feel like I'm coming into it with a lot more confidence, and also I'm not really, we'll see on match day, but leading up to it, I'm not as anxious or anything about it as I thought I would be, just because coming after a good win, people are expecting you to continue to do well. But really, I feel like I'm in a good mindset, and I'm pretty relaxed, and I'm enjoying London and enjoying just being here, and hopefully that mindset can stay.
Matt Roberts, Tennis Podcast. I think you kind of revealed who you're playing mixed doubles with. Just wondering what the process was like of choosing a partner, some of the offers you had. How do you choose who to play with?
Yeah, I didn't say who I was going to play with, and actually I don't know if if he wants me to say it or not. I did mention it in a TikTok comment, like a hint, so maybe whoever's watching this can go find that comment. But yeah, I'll ask if he wants for me to say it or not. I mean, for me, it's fine. But yeah, I don't know. So sorry.
Coco, Hector Nunn's for the Sportsman. I'm slightly following on from what Molly said. You've been here as like the new sensation, and you're here this year as, I think, third favourite for the title. What's the difference between those two?
Honestly, I feel like I'm a lot more relaxed than when I was considered the sensation or whatever, just because I felt like I did well. I wasn't expecting to, but it felt like everyone wanted me the results that happen now. And like, I feel like I learned so much to not put pressure on now. And yeah, so this time around, I mean, even though like I'm considered a favorite, I don't feel like it as much as I did when I was 15 or even 16. I just felt like I was, or 16, I didn't play here, 17. I felt like I was a little bit delusional in my head about, how much people wanted me to win, whereas now I feel like if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Willie Weinbaum from ESPN. Coco, what are your thoughts about the tournament's decision about the Russian and Belarusian players and the tour's response regarding the ranking points?
Yeah, well, I feel like I understand both sides of the situation, and for me, it's a difficult decision just because I do know, a lot of, or at least on the women's side, a lot of the Belarusian and Russian athletes, and I know at least the ones that I spoke to definitely don't support what's happening in Ukraine right now. But I also do understand the side of trying to put global pressure on the Russian government to pull out of Ukraine, and maybe how sports can kind of, or not punishing, I don't want to use that word, sports can kind of impact that. So I think there's just both sides of the situation are just tricky. And regarding the ranking points, really, I don't know. I don't have enough information like regarding that because they were deciding that decision during French Open, and I really didn't want to be involved during the tournament. So I just told the representatives of the Players Council to, or at least when they asked for my opinion, to do like what they feel is just not something that I wanted to kind of deal with like in the tournament, because I feel like I'm still sort of new on tour, and I wouldn't say that I know completely how it runs. So I feel like I didn't have enough information to say, hey, this is what you guys should do to players who've been on tour for 10 plus years. So I just said, you guys do what you think feels best regarding the ranking points.
Coco, Chuck Culpepper from the Washington Post. When you're a sensation at 15, it can be difficult to manage from there. What do you think your parents, your grandparents, and everybody got right about that?
I think first my parents, they never pressured me to play a tournament or do anything that I didn't want to do. And I think in the long run, that's definitely, well, it's made a difference now, but in the long run, it definitely make a difference. And regarding my family, just simple stuff they do, regardless if I win or lose, them sending positive messages and always checking in on me when I'm on the road. Like, I've been gone, I don't even know how many weeks since April, but I'm getting texts from my family every day, and it definitely means a lot.
Can we take two more?
Carlo Herrera, La Repubblica. Two quick questions. One is, do you think that the final is in your reach, like it was in Paris, here as well? And secondly, do you have any thoughts about the Supreme Court decision yesterday in the U.S.?
So the first question, every tournament I go into, I believe that I can win it, and I think obviously having the good success these last couple weeks, and especially at French Open, I think it builds my confidence even more for that. And then to answer the second question, I put a tweet out. I'm obviously disappointed about the decision made, and I just really, for me, obviously I feel bad for future women and women now, but I also feel bad for those who protested for this. I don't even know how many years ago, but protested for this, and are alive to see that that decision to be reversed. And I just think that history repeating itself, and I feel like, at least on and reading and researching, because I do like history, I just feel like just having this decision reverse, I feel like we're almost going backwards. And, you know, not only did this decision kind of mark, you know, regarding reproductive rights, I feel like it also kind of puts a lead way in maybe to reverse other things that we worked, or not me, I wouldn't say me personally, but people in the past worked so hard to reverse. So, but I still want to encourage people to use their voice and not feel too discouraged about this, because we can definitely make a change, and hopefully change will happen.
I can ask about a similar topic on your tweet. Just I'm wondering how you sort of balance the emotion and frustration and anger, disappointment you feel clear through your tweet about this news, with still trying to and staying engaged and everything, with, you know, having this tournament so close, and just how you sort of try to strike a balance here. If it's impossible to just forget about the world, even in this mode.
Yeah, I just feel like my whole life, I've always balanced that kind of aspect. Even, I mean, when obviously now I have a much bigger platform when I did when I was younger, but it was still issues that we're talking about. And I would say my family just grew up and raised me like that. And regarding balancing, I mean, I always done a pretty good job of separating the world from tennis when I'm on the court, because on the court it's like my escape from everything. And, you know, during the tournament I probably, you know, would shut the phone off and maybe not see so much, but the same thing happened in French Open where you know, I was talking about gun violence, so I definitely don't think it affects my performance. I feel like it fuels me more, because I know that with the more I win, the more, and the later I get into these tournaments, the more people are watching and the more people that can hear my message. So I feel like I use that as almost fuel to do better. So yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.